We here with Easy Mill. It's Wild941, wild941.com. Filipino, man, doing it big right now. Let me tell you something real quick, though. Eminem don't really sign too many people, man. I can count them on like one hand, and like you're on that hand. So it's like to be in that room with them, and I just saw the picture recently you posted with you, him, and Dre. Uh, how is life right now for Easy Mill?
It's just a day in the stew. It was a day in the stew. Reviewing a lot of things because didn't you know when Dre said that he was about to announce when M gave him the green light to announce the album on Jimmy Kimmel's, you know
Yeah.
so when that day happened, yeah, I'm still actually trying to, what do you say, debrief from the situation, like what they call from Call of Duty when you got back from
Yeah, I
Warzone.
know. I know the vibes.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta still trying to debrief because I wish I could replay and have this situation, re-listen to the conversations or everything again, but I can't.
Yeah. It's a lot to
So
process, man. This is you run a lot of goats. You're like a really good company. So
I,
how did you get into music? When did rapping become a thing for you? Because I know you also went to school too. So break it down to me like how you got into the game and when you just started putting the raps together.
um raps didn't come to like making rap music or like putting the pen to the pad and then to the mic and then to wax was not necessarily something I did like too much early on. What I ended up doing first was um while I was in like sophomore college, when I was like starting not to pay attention in class no more, like my ear was a little too much in the streets because I was also like a skater. I was focused more on skateboarding. So that's kind of how like the fall off a little bit. So like I ended up writing music more on like a laptop, making a guitar, like some metal music. So that's how I first like I was ended up making music with metal first. Like so riffs on guitar recorded to the laptop, and that's how I first like come about and like making songs. And then later after that, when I got kicked out of like where I was staying at from college and I got sent back to my grandmama house, like that's when I started rapping onto the same laptop I was recording some metal with. So that's kind of like yeah, that's how I started like rapping. My first rap song was really like depressing, but I was trying to not to talk about a lot about reality. It was called hyperthermia. Like it was, that goes way back, you know. Yeah, that's my first rap record that I ever did.
Oh
And
wow.
it was, yeah, hyper, I named it hyperthermia.
I also saw a TikTok of you. Now you mentioned the metal. There was a TikTok of you. I want to say it was you. It was like probably a while back, where you're like
Uh,
on a guitar rapping, singing, like at the same time. You just going ham, like you spitting words out,
oh,
and you
that's
just
recent.
ripping on that, bro.
That's recent right there. That's
That
like,
was recent.
yeah, that was in Hawaii. I did a show for like a Filipino band, a legendary band called Parokya ni Edgar. Shout out nga pala Kuya Parok, sila Kuya Chito. Um, yeah, they gave me the honors to perform like a certain part of like a late deceased legend, Francis Magalona, in the rap scene of the Philippines. And his part, like they all like rapping fast in the song, and like it's a rock song actually. It's like a sort of like a Rage Against type of song where
Yeah.
like they're rapping and also like it's a like a metal song. So I ended up just like, you know what? I feel like I could do this. So I ended up rehearsing it and that was pretty recent, yeah. So that was like a TikTok of that you were talking about
Yeah,
probably.
that was crazy. I saw you was going nuts. I was like, yo, this guy is nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So you see like the that's how it coincided. I first started doing metal stuff before rapping. So like the guitar is kind of like it kind of like is on the same, I don't know. I probably am better with guitar than I am with freestyling rapping, I would say.
well, you seem pretty alright in that video, so you seem to hold both down really well. So salute to you on that. Being Filipino, explain to me like the Filipino rap scene. Like, I feel like I don't know if there's many more out there. Maybe some guys from the Bay Area,
Yeah,
possibly, or
yeah.
Cali, that I probably just didn't know were Filipino. But really repping that and holding it down. Explain that rap scene to me, man. It seems like it's a very eclectic sound. You mentioned the metal aspect to it. You were doing metal music, but I feel like it's very eclectic. So just kind of tell me a little bit about how that scene is.
Yeah, so I feel like any other Filipino who would be like more so from here in the States, like have stayed here a little longer, would have a different view on it. But for me, who grew up and was born in the Philippines, yeah, you're right. When the eclecticism of the music, like it's very different when it comes to like what we pay attention to, and because like the rock is heavily inspired and also like in terms of we make our own stuff that is of what's like popping out in the radio. So like we have like our own little niche, like market of music that we also do follow. So like rap in the Philippines has its own little subgenres that I would have to explain in Tagalog, which would not a lot of people understand, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like there's a lot of different niches that it just came down to. I feel like it's just through culture and a way for a way for everybody to just get along and like kind of talk about what's like trending as of a way in the world, I feel, you know.
No, I dig that, and it's actually really interesting to me, and I'm curious to see what when you put it together your full length project, what it all sounds like, because it seems like you're very deep rooted into how you came up and as far as listening to music. Speaking of that, you have the record Up Down, which you did the remix with. You got A Boogie on there, who that's a homie right there, a big fan of his. What how did that connection happen between you and A?
Um, you know what's crazy about that is actually through the Shady camp. Thankfully and like with the grace of Sir Eminem, when he recommended when he heard Up Down, he just loved he loved the record. He messed with it so much and he was like because he wanted to give it a different taste. He had like he wanted to see it again on on the eyes of the people, but with a different sound. So I feel like one of the people that he thought of was A Boogie, because I do agree, like with records like Drowning in them before, like he has a different knack for that melody when it comes to rapping. So like, and he when he said that, like at first before it happened, I was like, hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's big. That damn Eminem, like A Boogie, somebody like A Boogie, and a guy like you are just on his Eminem's radar. How tapped in really is M? Because I feel like M just kind of lives in this bubble. Like what I'm saying. He just he's like his aura is just so like to me it feels intimidating. You know what I'm saying? Because he's such a legend and pioneer in the rap game. So are you amazed sometimes at some of the stuff that Eminem knows as far as like music wise and how hip he is to this generation?
Um, Sometimes, yeah, because at first I'm more so just still surprised that he was hip on to me, you know. So like I feel like it's just he is really tapped in, you know. He's tapped in, he makes sure he keeps his ear out to what people are messing with today, but he also, you're right, it's also it's a mixture of both, like having you build bubble of like what you really mess with, what you grew up like messing with, like just as a kid, and like that mixture of what that is, and also keeping like a keen ear for like what the public's like messing, and it's that yeah, so I feel like he is a little bit in his bubble, but also just keeps his ear out. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
one fit
know.
in, one fit
'Cause
out.
I'm the same way, because I don't, because you're not supposed to be too inspired by like a lot of things when you're making your own stuff. When you know how to make ways to be able to have your little bubble like sacred for like your own taste, and for not to be deterred by outside inspiration, other than like when you choose to, you stay in that bubble of yours, and You choose to when to go outside and like take a listen, but not that like deter like your main influences. I feel like M just I can't speak for him because like what he grew up liking is like it's a generational difference, I feel. If I start taking notices of it, because like it really is from like what he grew up loving, like Tupac, LL Cool J, and but also some rock records with not a lot of people recognize. And me being more of a metalhead, not so like a rock. I grew up with a dad who's like a rocker.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just a mix of what is like the choice of inspiration and where that's taken to, whether it comes to like the making of the music or the writing of the lyrics. It all comes to this like melting pot of everything else, and then it forms to just your individual when you go on the mic,
Yeah.
and start penning your stuff down. I feel like that's what everybody forgets about like artists, man. We just people. We do our best to make this music thing like it's therapy. It's therapy for real.
I agree. I agree. I feel like we get pieces of you guys through song, and just kind of get these experiences, these life experiences that most of the time we all relate to. I really dig it. Easy Mill, I really appreciate you taking the time. Is there a project on the way
Hey man, you
cooking up?
already know, like
I know you got a lot going on. I feel like everything's just kind of coming at you really fast at this point.
yeah, but also it's been like also taking it all in bits and pieces, like what I said at the start of it, like debriefing from just what that was, because for me it's still crazy to be in the crowds of like the both of them, and
Yeah,
then I'm also still just figuring out some stuff like about uh what was his name, Alchemist.
yeah, Alchemist legend.
Bro, like I didn't even know. Like I only knew because like I'm a big fan of Clams because he know. And lo and behold, I opened up like the ASAP Rocky Jody, like Clams Casino, right? Like the first records. And
Yep.
then Clams, just figuring it out, like, oh shit, Clams is inspired by Alchemist. And I'm like, I was like, so much brain fucks happen in LA, bro. So much goddamn brain fucks that I'm still trying to debrief from. You get me?
Yeah, no, I get surprised by a lot of stuff. Like I would never known that Clams was inspired by Alchemist.
I don't know. I'm
That,
still, I don't know. It's just a guess.
yeah.
It's like, it sounds like it. When I went and like met Alchemist, I went and listened to his like beats.
Oh, and it related to what Clams was doing with ASAP.
Yeah. Like
Got you.
right when I met, and then I went to some of his beats. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. It was just like,
Yeah, he's responsible for a lot of fire Mob Deep projects. Alchemist. Oh, and the Alchemist First Infantry album, his album, top to bottom was for me was
same infantry.
first
That's hard.
crazy,
I haven't
crazy,
even listened to it.
crazy. You got to definitely tap in with that if you can, bro.
Right.
I gotta ask too. I know M's cooking up something. Are you on the project? How many records you on? What's the science on that?
We always cooking. We always cooking, man. It's like it never stops. It's an addiction.
There
You
you
know,
go.
it's a curse but a gift at the same time.
Yeah. Hey,
Keep
listen,
falling
live
out
it.
of our pants pocket. We can't stop it. What was that? What was that M record? He said that I keep, but yeah.
That's cool. Is Dre doing something too? I know he just got the walk. He got on the Walk of Fame,
He in the picture, ain't
Hollywood. Huh?
he? He in the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
I can't say nothing.
you ain't gonna say nothing. Just give me a like a blink. Just blink. If I say, does Eminem and Dr. Dre drop an album this year? Both of them simultaneously. He try. Yeah, he trying to dodge the blink. All right, I see. Easy Bill, appreciate you, man. It was great meeting you. And we gotta tap in when you come out here in Tampa for real, man. We gotta set something up.
Hey, for real, I heard a lot of good things about Tampa, man. But yeah, I thank you for
Give us
having me,
time.
bro. And I can't wait to go out there. Y'all have a good one.